Cryptocurrency exchanges are looking more and more like banks. Interest gathered from crypto deposited such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as fiat such as US dollars. Users are naturally incentivized to keep their coins and money on these exchanges. But can they be trusted? For those who have been in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin for a while, we all know the saying, if you don't own the private keys, you don't own the coins. But this video is to give a little bit more context to that saying. After the rise and fall of Mt. Gox, one of the biggest exchanges to exist in February 2014, with 850,000 bitcoins now valued at $44.2 billion, disappeared after the owner Mark Capellos claimed hackers had stolen all of the 850,000 bitcoins. In 2014, the cryptocurrency exchange Cryptocurrencies owner Paul Vernon Big Ver fled to China with more than 11,000 bitcoins, or about $500 million of today's value. In July 2017, the Russian-owned Bitcoin exchange named BTCE was seized by the US Department of Justice. Bitcoin traders on BTCE would have to log into their accounts and be greeted with this page. BTCE's owner, Alex Vinnick, was accused of money laundering the stolen Mt. Gox coins, as well as laundering multiple bitcoins from ransomware malware such as Locky. 7 years later, it's difficult to remember that this was the case, when we all happily deposit and transact to Coinbase, Bittrex, and other exchanges. Of course, regulations have changed, and Bitcoin has taken on more traditional investments. JP Morgan now advises Bitcoin investments be 1% of their investors' portfolio, after stating,
I care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it.
Bitcoin can now be bought from PayPal as well as Square, Cash App, Robinhood, and soon to be Venmo, opening the market to new traders. Mt. Gox, Cryptocurrency, BTCE, and other exchanges that did not follow the Know Your Customer KYC AML standards that are in place today, where users must scan their IDs to let the US government know who they are, as well as how much currencies they're holding. Why is it bad if exchanges function like banks? Can't we trust that they're not going to disappear like the early days of cryptocurrencies with current day regulations? Before I attempt to answer this, currently this channel is not monetized, so please be sure to like and subscribe to help support JonBit. I'd also like to thank my current subscribers. With that, we'll get right into it. To answer this question, we'll go back to the origins of Bitcoin. Why was Bitcoin even created to begin with? Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, was very anti-bank and also very anti-inflationary, with having quoted as saying, "The root of the problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. The central bank must be trusted to not debase our currency. But the history of fiat currency is full of breaches of that trust. Banks must be held to hold our money and transfer it electronically, but they lend it out in waves of credit bubbles, with barely a fraction in reserves. We have to trust them with our privacy, trust them not to let identity thieves drain our accounts. Their massive overhead costs make micropayments impossible." Satoshi's main point with this quote was that banks must hold our money and be trusted with them. So I posed the question, why in the future should we trust exchanges acting as banks as holding our Bitcoin? Satoshi created Bitcoin as a trustless system, so a transaction could go from one individual to another. The other popular saying with Bitcoin, besides if you don't own the private keys, you don't own the Bitcoin, is be your own bank. Assuming these cryptocurrencies are not stolen from these exchanges, we can also assume exchanges will use our coins to trade internally. Of course, the deposited coins can be used to help liquidity and fulfill buy and sell orders from users who want to trade USD or cryptocurrency, or vice versa. But these exchanges can be used to falsify trading volume, overall manipulating the coin's value. Mt. Gox was caught doing exactly that. After an internal investigation of Mt. Gox, a paper titled Price Manipulation in the Bitcoin Economy was released by Tel Aviv University. The paper, supported by two computer scientists, J.T. Hamrick and Tyler Moore, who confirmed the existence of bots that traded between each other within the Mt. Gox days, and concluded that 600,000 Bitcoin worth of suspicious trading activity from February to November 2013 likely caused an unprecedented spike in the USD to BTC exchange rate in late 2013, when the rates jumped from around $150 to more than $1,000 in 2 months. At first, This was all speculation and outside analysis, but Mark Kapelas, owner of Mt. Gox, later confirmed that he operated WillyBot, the bot who traded Bitcoin internally in Mt. Gox himself. Mark Kapelas was not prosecuted for this because this was argued to be for the good of Mt. Gox, the good of the company. Recently in 2019, Bitwise released a report claiming that 95% of all Bitcoin trades are fake in volume. The following chart from Cointelegraph shows the estimated fake transactions called out on major exchanges. So while giving these exchanges easy access to cryptocurrency helping liquidity, that trust over time also gives room for abuse. Now, one might say, what's the big deal? I still make 9% of my Ethereum deposited. If volume is fake, that doesn't affect me. And really, that would be somewhat true. But the point of showing these false waltz trades and pointing them out within exchanges is to show the practice of deception. Show your coins are being used in a way without your consent. If the exchange were to declare insolvency, your coins would disappear even if the owner does not run away with the coins, or the exchange doesn't suffer a major compromise. Of course, there is a chance for a class action lawsuit, such as what happened with Cryptsy to recover some of the money back, but why take the chance? All the following risks that I've discussed as well are targeted towards actual cryptocurrency exchanges. Robinhood gives the users no access to the cryptocurrencies traded for withdrawals, as well as PayPal. These exchanges must be trusted that cryptocurrencies are being transacted with when the trades are executed. This leads us to solutions against the centralized exchange model. First, how do we protect our cryptocurrencies from staying in the hands of crypto exchanges? Second, how do we participate in crypto exchanges without the risk of private keys being stolen? Third, how can we gain interest on these coins at the rate of 9% APR or more without participating in centralized exchanges? Answering the first question, the best solution is to create a hardware wallet to hold your cryptocurrencies in, to finally become your own bank. Assuming you're on the HODL strategy and don't want to trade anytime soon, hardware wallets are the best option. Hardware wallets, also known as cold storage, allows you to secure your coins using a PIN to unlock the wallet and back up the wallet using a personal recovery seed. Disadvantage of hardware wallets is you are responsible for the security of the device. If it is lost or stolen, your coins are gone. Hot wallets, in contrast, would be wallets hosted on an exchange. The reason why it's considered hot is it's easy to transact with, swapping to, let's say, US dollars. The risks with these hot wallets are that they can be compromised since they are hosted on some sort of web server, or stolen by an exchange owner or employee, worst case scenario. The major advantage with hardware wallets is the coins are entirely yours to transact with. If the exchange is down, you don't have to wait for your coins, or worst case scenario, an exchange is found insolvent for any reason, your coins are threatened in no way. Even if the hardware wallet company has become bankrupt, there are recovery options using the recovery seed. Major hardware wallets, Trezor and Ledger, support multiple wallets on the coin. For example, if you'd like to store Dogecoin, Litecoin, and Bitcoin all on the same wallet, that would be supported. If you're not just hodling and speculating with different coins in cryptocurrency exchanges, there are two solutions that can be used. First one is the most practical solution, which is risk management, where you speculate using a certain amount of coins that you're willing to lose. Or the other option is decentralized exchanges. Risk managing centralized exchanges might be the best option if immediate transactions and liquidity is needed. The immense popularity of centralized exchanges cannot be dismissed. If you're a day trader, you'll need access to these centralized exchanges to make small trades and pull some profit. Also, centralized exchanges have smaller fees versus the gas Ethereum fees needed on DEXs. Decentralized exchanges exchange coins immediately without a centralized company completing the transaction. The private key remains the owner's. These trades are completed by a smart contract which brokers the trade from one coin to another. Users can also contribute liquidity to the exchange by intentionally storing the coins on the DEX to gain profit from the exchanges completed within the DEX. A big issue with DEXs such as Uniswap is Ethereum fees. Since Ethereum is so expensive now, the fee could run as high as $30 in comparison to the couple of cents/dollars a centralized exchange might charge. This issue is something that is an issue within the Ethereum network, and they would have to overall figure out what they would do with the smart contracts if the transaction fee is to be lowered. However, this is not an issue with decentralized exchanges necessarily. Now, if your strategy with centralized exchanges is to gain some interest on the coins while holding, there are a couple of tokens that could be worth looking into. These tokens circumvent the need for a centralized broker to pay out the contracts when the interest is completed. Currently, there are two major interest tokens, one known as Hex, the other known as Wise. Both of these tokens are interesting in the sense that they give the user power to define how long interest is gathered on the token, as well as the amount of tokens to be used for interest. When creating a smart contract for Hex or Wise, a defined amount of Hex or Wise is burned immediately. Then the smart contract continues to pay out the user over time. The more time the contract is defined for, the more interest that's accrued. Now, the game theory behind these tokens can be a whole video unto itself, but this offers a decentralized alternative to the centralized bank offers, and these tokens will pay you at 9% variable rate. To conclude this video, please know that there are many risks to having exchanges function as banks. Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, as we know them, made Bitcoin to avoid banks and empower individuals. I would argue if you're using cryptocurrencies and not storing them within a hardware wallet or paper wallet for cold storage, you're not using the technology as the creator designed it. Hopefully, history won't repeat itself. Please keep your cryptocurrency safe. Thank you for watching my video to the end. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Is there any video ideas that you guys have for me? Would you like me to go more in depth with hardware wallets and how they're used, or explain decentralized exchanges? Please be sure to like and subscribe. Invest safely and responsibly. Thank you.